The kill room where it happens. Batista closes in on Dexter in the opening scene of Dexter, Resurrection Episode 8, with the tracker still in his car, intending to check Dexter's routine against any anomalies that may arise. The most recent anomaly will be Al, as Dexter is methodically going through each of the different killers. Our titular character nearly loses his chance with Al because he's spooked and will be leaving town shortly, but he manages to set up a meeting before he leaves. Batista observes that Dexter's automobile has stopped and chooses to approach for a better look as he gets ready for the night, gathering his various weapons and locating a remote location to carry out his murder. But he doesn't make it very far and wins. In the meantime, Charlie discusses her worries about Red with Leon. She has a bad feeling about him because he is evasive and secretive, and because of the murders of these various killers. Leon dismisses her worries, pointing out Charlie's problems as paranoid and casting doubt on her work because he thinks Red is reliable. Harrison is in an uncomfortable situation at the same time. The Empire is fully booked up for Leon Prater's gala this weekend, and Elsa and little Dante are still having serious problems with her landlord, Vinny. She's a bit stuck and isn't entirely sure where to remain. Harrison confides in Dexter about this, and Dexter tries to determine whether or not this landlord complies with his code. In addition to being a stretch, it's another instance of Dexter obfuscating the distinction between business and family. Al leaves early, which exacerbates the situation, and when Dexter calls that evening, the man won't tell him exactly where he is in Wisconsin. Dexter needs to feed his dark passenger now that Al is gone, but he has no prey at the moment. At home, Dexter ends up disclosing her father's background to Blessing's daughter, which causes awkwardness. She is offended that Dexter was unable to share his experiences as a child soldier with her and finds it unbelievable that Blessing told him about it. Blessing confronts Dexter about it, of course, but he feels betrayed. Dexter is genuinely quite impacted by it, becoming even more irate and irritated than before. After that, Dexter chooses to concentrate his efforts on Vinny, the landlord. In the end, Dexter gets Vinny exactly where he wants him. Regretfully, he is not aware that Batista is getting closer to where he is. Dexter escapes before the detective can locate him, despite Batista knowing exactly where he is. While the death room is still largely intact, Vinny is also left alive and rushes out of the building in shock. Wallace is called down to have a look by Batista. It doesn't seem good because he doesn't have any solid proof against Dexter outside of this murder room. Wallace becomes further suspicious of Batista after Dexter discovers the AirPods and destroys them as well, eradicating the tracker. Nevertheless, she continues to follow up on this. Joey Quinn answers the phone as Wallace calls Miami police back at the station. Wallace finds out that Batista has retired from the military and is no longer on active service. Will Batista be identified by Wallace as the murderer of Bay Harbor? Harrison and Gigi spend time together, but the former's hopes of becoming a detective are dashed. However, Harrison reassures her that it's not the end of the road for her, highlighting the fantastic work Dexter has done at the Miami Police Department. Eventually, as a result of his generosity, the two hook up, in one of the rooms at the Empire, no less. Dexter, meanwhile, is startled and becomes uneasy. However, he finds out that Vinny has improved when he goes out to dinner with Harrison. Elsa's flat is being vigorously sorted out by Vinny, but things take a strange turn. When Leon Prater arrives at the eatery where they are, he declares that he was unaware that Red had a son. Oh no! The review of the episode. This episode succeeds in advancing some of the character development and raising the stakes towards the end. Dexter learns a somewhat different kind of justice from Vinny, and even though he was going to kill the man, it could be better for everyone if he keeps him alive after frightening him half to death. He's actually solving Elsa's mold issue right now. This chapter's drama surrounding Batista reaches a fever pitch, and it's intriguing that Wallace is approaching this from a somewhat different perspective than her colleagues. She seems to be shifting her position to think Batista might be the murderer of Bay Harbor, which, if correct, gives the narrative a delightful irony and would mean Batista's role in this case comes to an end. But now that Al has escaped and Leon Prater is getting closer to the truth about Dexter, everything is in place for a thrilling last few episodes to wrap off this series. Let's do it again next week.